nothing is completely finished in the superhero world. So just because Natasha Romanoff is gone, doesn't mean the Black Widow franchise is over. The movie is definitely more than Natasha's superhero name. So stay with us and watch the video until the end, as we have some great news to share with you. Recap. The first movie was actually a prequel that takes place in the MCU period, between Captain America Civil War and Avengers Infinity War. It was a chance to spend some time with the multi-skilled spy Natasha Romanoff before she sacrifices herself in Avengers Endgame. The filmmakers and the cast were very happy with how the movie turned out, but it seems like Scarlett Johansson is done playing with this character. Talking to Comic Book, she said, "Honestly, I feel like it's always. It feels great to leave a party when it's still raging, and I think this film very much feels like it's alive and fresh and powerful, and I feel really pleased with it. It's bittersweet to say goodbye, but if you love something, you need to set it free." Before we speak about the second Black Widow movie, let's jump on the first movie storyline for a second. So, go back in 1995. Natasha lived happily together with her foster parents and foster younger sister. One night, her dad came home glumly and urged the family to leave the place as soon as they could. The mother quickly led the two daughters to pack up and rushed out for departure. When all was ready, the family took Dad's car to a hidden gateway plane. As soon as they got there, they were surrounded by many police vehicles. Her dad opened fire on the police and instructed the rest to take off with the plane. Despite many hindrances, they eventually managed to escape. But unfortunately, her mom was injured, although the wound was not fatal. Following a bumpy landing in a Cuba military base, her dad submitted a set of confidential documents to his boss and resigned at the same time. It was revealed that both dad and mom were Russian undercover spies sent to the US for duty. Adopting Natasha and Yelena was part of their plan to masquerade themselves as harmless US citizens. Wrenched from dad and mom, Natasha and her younger sister were enrolled by the Red Room, a Russian agent training institute where many other homeless girls are imprisoned. After years of cruel training and brainwashing, Natasha has become a trained killer. The almost invincible Natasha became an all-rounded agent, so fast in both her thoughts and movements that she never fails any given mission. However, Natasha has left the Red Room and joined the Avengers instead. Since then, she had to run away and hide from the killers. Overall, the plot was very similar to that of a standard action movie, which means it was predictable. We could have read many critics who said that Black Widow is similar to Jason Bourne movies. Anyways, considering the challenges the pandemic has brought, the movie was executed well and demonstrates good special effects. We could see some iconic fighting moves, a heartwarming story of family, and humor. And for every MCU fan, it is fairly enough to satisfy. Release date. The first movie arrived on the screens after numerous delays. The movie has definitely set up Yelena's appearance in Hawkeye, but the fans wanted to know if there's also a way for a sequel return of Black Widow. As we said before, Scarlett Johansson said goodbye to the MCU, but despite that, we may not have seen the last of Black Widow. We were introduced to Yelena Belova, and she also adopted the codename Black Widow. So this time, we might see Florence Pugh as a lead actress. We promised you good news, and here they are. Talking to Radio Times, the director Kate Shortland said, "I think Scarlett is really happy that she's leaving the party, and she's not the last to leave. She decided she wanted to go, and I don't think she would want to come back at the moment. I mean, all the beautiful fights and the spectacle, and I think she's just creating something really fun and joyous is pretty addictive. So, yeah, I would do it again." Nothing has been confirmed about a Black Widow 2 as of yet, but the truth is that we can expect some really great news very soon.
I've lived a lot of lives, but I'm done running from my past.
Cast. The fans were extremely sad to hear Scarlett Johansson saying goodbye, but anyway, the story is the most important, and we really hope that Florence Pugh could fill that place. Shortland will hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. No, really, in all seriousness now. Shortland didn't say which character she would like to follow if she creates Black Widow 2, but it is very hard to imagine anyone other than Yelena. This was expected after the positive reception of Pugh's performance. Talking to Total Film, the actress said, "If you get asked to be in a Marvel film, and it was so thrilling and fun and exciting to be in, then of course, your head goes, oh my god. If this is what it's like, then what else is next?" She added that she's happy to see people appreciate her character, and that motivates her even more. Being part of the Marvel Club is a great honor, so if she gets this offer, we are more than sure that she'll accept it. Ray Winstone's Dreykov probably won't be part of the sequel. There is also the question of what happens to David Harbour's Red Guardian and Rachel Weisz's Melina, so we might expect their return. First look and plot details. After Antonia and the rest of the widows were free of Dreykov's control, and after she took down the Taskmaster, Natasha finally said goodbye to her newfound family. She had to fend off Ross and his men who were still chasing her. And this all followed the events of a Captain America Civil War. It's fine to say that this also serves as Natasha's proper goodbye in the MCU. With the way the first movie ended, there is only one logical path for a sequel to take, and that is to put Yelena in the first plan. The ending of the movie was dramatic, and in these circumstances, Natasha has turned over the mantle and set the future of Black Widow to Yelena. So, if we see the green light for the sequel, the story will most likely follow Yelena and the rest of the widows while they are trying to establish a new, free life away from Dreykov. There were many crazy fan theories before the first movie was released, and there are many of them now. People believe that the first movie was actually Natasha's life flashing before her eyes while she falls from the cliff in Avengers Endgame. Her sacrifice for the Soul Stone was a crucial part of the MCU's conclusion. Therefore, the fans were excited to hear that she'll get a chance for a solo movie. Black Widow fills in many questions about Natasha Romanoff and her past, but it also reveals that she had 2 surrogate families in her lifetime. While she was falling from the cliff in Vormir, she was likely thinking about all that. The Avengers, Clint and his family, and all those that had been snapped out of existence. All the events from Black Widow could have been on Natasha's mind, since she reunited with her family after a long separation. It is also unclear whether Melina, Alexei, or Yelena survived the snap, and at the end, it is very possible that she knew her sacrifice was a step in the right direction for saving both of her families. The ending of the first movie and the Endgame negated life review theory and Natasha's time travel. As a character, she spent much of her formative years alone, but she ended up with multiple families and ultimately sacrificed her life to protect them. On a related note, tell us down in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Yelena's solo adventure? Do you think that Scarlett's return is possible? What are your expectations and what are your theories? Which characters that haven't been mentioned should appear? And what are your suggestions? If you liked the video, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you'll never miss our next videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.